So with the Challenger and Champs weekend upon us, 3 days to grind out as much of a good team that you possibly can get. Let's have a look through some inspiration, see what we can actually get, as to be honest, a lot of teams now are falling into a pattern of what players are more meta than the others. And obviously SBC's objectives are most definitely coming into it. Now, the debut icon is the only thing that you can't really control. If you've got a good one, fantastic. If you haven't, you just put them on the bench. You just put them back in your club. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do with that. So when we do look at a Tony Cruz, solid option. Very, very nice option. Now, obviously, evolutions are a big part of the game, and naturally, we've had a few decent ones, but I can't imagine there's a crazy amount that are really going to shift the focus away from another player. And then, obviously, you've got a few of the foundations that you could have picked. We can see Pepe from the Showdown winner now. Obviously, Denale, Konate, Rejo. Very nice team, good and balanced. The one thing I would suggest when going into Champs is to try and get the 33 chem. You wouldn't believe the level of kind of how that works. And another thing that I've seen countless times in Rivals at the moment, chemistry styles. That's going to have a massive impact, not only on the Weekend League, but even on something like the Gauntlet, where you've got 3 different teams. About that third team, there's not many chemistry styles going on there. So that is also another factor when you do look at somebody like Griezmann, very good player, has the chip shot, decent amount of dribbling and passing, but then you add a hunter to him, and instead of the basic, realistically, we're looking around, where's the basic? You've got this. This is kind of what they all will be on, pack pulled, fresh, bought off the market if they've got the basic, which is nice. I mean, it gets a decent amount of stats across the board, but if you have a specific role for him, and shooting is going to be one of them, potentially having the chem style is going to be a massive one. So just in case you're brand new to the game, or you've not necessarily thought about it, forgot about it, because naturally, pretty much during footies, you don't need to give anybody anything. They pretty much have 99 stats across the board. So it will have that massive impact on a player like this. So definitely getting the chem styles on as many players as possible is going to be well worth it when it comes to Champs. If then we look down, so that's 137. If we've gone for a 380, which I think a lot of teams now should be going up towards that 200k mark, maybe 150, depending on who you've managed to get. Naturally, if you've managed to pack a Pulisic or a Donovan, that's going to bring up your total a lot more than what you can kind of imagine from just an average playing game. McTominay, bit of Kimmich. Decent Kimmich, to be honest, if you can run the Bundesliga. Nice down there. Obviously, DeMarco coming in. So if you're looking for coins, head over to eldorado.gg. There is huge amounts of verified sellers on Eldorado, and there is a money back guaranteed by TradeShield. If that's not enough, there is 24/7 live support and also plenty of reviews across websites that will definitely put your mind at ease. And as always, before you check out, make sure that you are using the code JT11 for 5% off every single order. Back to the video. Bit of Neuer at the back line, maybe looking for a Kobel, but he's clearly got the buying links for the chemistry there, which again does work pretty well. If then we've got, is that 2? I'm assuming Gauntlet maybe. Got a bit of Pogba in now, the evolution. That's going to be a nice card to upgrade, actually. He's a pretty nice one to kind of go from that 79. And as soon as we start getting a little bit extra pace, that could be an interesting one to go with him personally. And he will end up with some sort of flashback or moment. I'm really hoping for like a silver superstar with him, because if you do remember previous years, he will be just exceptional with it. We've got a bit of João Neves, Bruno, Barcola, and Buemo looks outrageous. Alvarez has been okay. I mean, 100k, I thought he was decent, but Marmouche is another fantastic one in my opinion when you're looking at kind of your lower budget side of stuff. We've then got 50,000, whether this has got a full team or not. Okay, Sammy Kerr, Malcolm, Gavi, Diaby, very, very basics across the board, and it just shows you even a 50k team may not get 15 wins in 0 unless you're someone like Tex or anybody on that sort of level, but naturally you could definitely get a couple of wins. Like, it's not necessarily out the realms, to be honest. We then have 150 coming in. We've got a beautiful card, great striker. We have James, Reeton, Schuameni, Olmo, Rice, bit of Gusto, Hanko, Gabriel. Okay, standard across the board. We then go, let's have a look at this, Openda. 27k on him, great pace for him. Pinner has been an exceptional card with the low driven plus. Obviously, Patri's been fantastic as well. Got a bit of Sakina, Karchawi, Dumfries, Marquinhos. It's 29 chem. So Who's not getting... Openda's not getting the chem. So clearly he likes Openda in this. What we got? Belgium links. Then got... Oh, he's in Serie A, of course. So he's got... Okay, Cal, Orsolini, Dumfries, maybe... I'd possibly just go out and swap. Like, I'd go with Marquinhos. I'd just swap him out for a Serie A centre-back. There's plenty of keepers that you can go with for Serie A. So, I suppose they're going Sakina as well. You can go DeMarco. Change this back line here, because clearly these are okay on their own. I don't think there's any more links going on, which... Oh, okay, Liga F as well. So them two are fine with that. I would just change these three here. Just go with a backline of Serie A instead. I think that would be very nice, but I'm assuming some untradeable looks going on in there. We then have a 200,000. Let's have a look at Tonali. Chiesa could be better. I think Hugo and Marmouche would be the better ones. Obviously, you've got him there. Possibly going for maybe the Spanish striker then. If links are not a problem, I'd possibly just look there, because you've got Konate, obviously got Liverpool with a French, Frimpong with a French, got Marmouche on the 2. Could go for another City player potentially, looking at maybe like Cherokee in the cam role, then bring Marmouche up front. I think that would be better. Other than that, I think that's probably where I would say is that's your go-to team. I think that would be a perfect team to go with. If you wanted to change Balde, if you wanted to go Rudiger, if you wanted to go Militao for Arejo instead, I think Camavinga's more than fine. Tchouameni is another option you can go with. Griezmann's been fantastic there. I would personally rate that as a solid starting team in terms of your kind of weekend league going into it. Then if we kind of look, Rashford's always going to be an option. He's very quick, even for just 87 pace. Very nice. Peugeot's obviously great with a finesse. Chiesa again, potentially worth a change, to be honest. You've obviously got De Jong, Zubamendi, who could have been an upgrade, I'd say. Iniesta, Gravado, Ake, again, could change them out for a bit of more of expense. Morelio could be a change for maybe Ake. Nice little links going on there as well. So let's have a look at a bit of a higher budget, because I think that's a standard. I'd say that's that kind of La Liga Prem team would be where I'd be at with the kind of the max pricing of that. So we've got 429. We see a first icon in there. To be honest, that's going to just take most of the value away, so it's not necessarily a team I would be striving for. Let's have a look. Second weekend league, so I'm assuming they're expecting decent rewards. Okay, we got the debut. We got a bit of Pulisic, who's a fantastic card this year. Obviously, Di Lorenzo in the centre back, questionable. I'd possibly be moving to right back, but obviously they're going for Dabina in there. Standard. I've seen better. I've seen better going into this. Let's have a look at 500k on the dot. We're looking at Kudus if you've done your gauntlet. Great card to get in. Could be the change for Chiesa if he does get the link. We got Kamara in there, Saliba, Koyunde. Solid back line across the board. Could do with a better keeper if we're being real with that. Even if you're just going for Mama Dishili, is it? The Liverpool keeper. Just go ahead and whack him in there. And maybe links could be an issue, but you've got Frimpong and Kirkez, so should be fine across the board there. Katoto, Chawinga, both being nice options across the board. I think that's a pretty solid team. We've got a bit of Bellingham. I was going to say he's going to be, I mean, 161 is not awful for him. If then you was to potentially get a few of these lower rated positions, Marmouche in there, you could get Frimpong, even Kirkez in there as well. Left mid, going off the Real Madrid, La Liga, could go with a bit of Rashford. Obviously, keeper could be many of the options, so solid amounts there. We've got Gabriel in this one. He's just on the bench apparently. We got, okay, a bit of Gyökeres. You've obviously got Camavinga, Tonali, Pepe, utilising your kind of objectives / SBCs as well, which I think is more than fine. LaCroix is actually one that I forgot in the ranking SBCs, so another one that definitely should be up there, but totally forgot about him being in the Prem now. Then if we further down, we've got Prem at 500, and after this, we'll kind of jump one up, and that would kind of be my after weekend league, maybe second or third time round. Got a bit of Palmer in there, Saka, Berbatov and Lundberg. Solid options. I mean, they've got the play style pluses. Bit of Rodri in there, Gravado, Saliba. Standard. Like, I mean, that's, you're definitely having to pack them two rather than buying them straight out. And then if we go one more, let's see if there's anybody. You've got a bit of Yamal. I'm assuming Yamal's all the value, really. 298. Gravenberch in there, bit of Gyökeres, bit of Goretzka, get there eventually. Iniesta in the middle to Stegen. Could throw in, depending on what value you're looking at, Konate is obviously a nice option. Could go with Morelio if you want to go with a bit of links there. Again, absolutely solid. So as we then go up, I think looking at the million coins, like I'm thinking second, third weekend league maybe takes a little bit of pack luck to get there. I wouldn't say really many people unless you're spending dollar to be able to get up there. This is going to be that kind of next gen, next level team that you'll be throwing out there. Hincapi on the left back, Saliba, Militao, Loriente, obviously Courtois. This is a perfect team, really. I think other than maybe going for like a Gyökeres, maybe going for like Marmouche here and changing your left wing, that would kind of be my personal theory behind it. But that's a pretty solid team. Like that will definitely get you far in the game for a considerable amount of time. We have got Chelsea. What do we got here? We've got a full Chelsea team then. It's always interesting because they've got a few players added. Obviously Palmer, James as the SBCs and also cornerstones. Sanchez, Fofana, you definitely need some better centre-backs. But having Caicedo there, even Cucurella ain't bad. Esteval is going to be an interesting one for an evolution. Enzo is not really going in there. Pedro is going to be an evolution. And I think João Pedro could be a nice one as well. Then we've got Liga. So I'm assuming Kvaratskhelia, João Neves, Pepe. You can see what I mean. They're roughly around that same sort of level of players. Like there's not necessarily a crazy amount difference. We've got first weekend league. Let's have, if I can click it, see what we've got going. We've got Pina, Barcola, Yamal, Isaac, Pedri. I mean, yeah, that's going to be class. Like, that's going to be really hard to break down. Alisson, obviously, 68,000. Some very, very difficult players. Going very balanced in the midfield in terms of passing, dribbling orientated. So you're probably going to have to be heavy on the defense or very, very attacking to the point where you're not really kind of getting past it. So generally easy to see. Then if we go narrow, because a lot of people love this. Yeah, I was going to say, you've got Reina's Vitinha very heavy on the passing. That is pretty much just a position to play to not lose the ball, basically. Obviously, Rodrigo, Gyökeres up there. Then a bit of Mendy, Koundé, Marquinhos, solid again. Even Raya. Raya was a great keeper. I sold him off to be able to get some money, but in general, always interesting to see. And then again, it's solid. Once you get to kind of this level, you're pretty much using the same players. It just might be you've got a Haaland instead of an Isaac. You've got a Yamal rather than like a Dembele or someone like that. So very interesting to see. The first weekend league is going to be a very interesting one to see where people rank in it and then also what rewards we truly get back from it. But it will be interesting. Let me know down below what your team's saying. How many coins of value is it going to be? Leave it down below in the comments and hopefully you get some good rewards from it. Peace.